Dobar dan, how are you? My name's David, and this is not about me. This is about my grandmother, Staramama, Anica Sinkovec. And many of you are going to be looking at this going, there's a lot of flags here, and there's a huge controversial one there. And I'll explain to you what that's all about. But, I might be 14, if not 20 years late on this tribute, but it's better late than never. And wanted to make something about my grandmother, Anica Sinkovec. She has a heck of a story, and been puzzling this together. And I thought I'd just put this on a quick video, and some appreciation. And thank God, it worked the way it did. I was speaking to my cousin the other night, Mitya. We were speaking about 30 minutes long about her and her story. And after we stopped FaceTiming each other, we realized we were on the phone for 30 minutes, but it felt like 3 or 4 minutes. Let me give you the story of my grandmother, Staramama, Anica Sinkovec. So she was born outside of Pittsburgh in a town called Nantiglow, Pennsylvania, U.S. So she was born, and you can say even raised, to the age of 7 years old in the United States of America. Her parents came from Yugoslavia to Pennsylvania for work, and it wasn't a computer programming job. It was hard work, and I'll explain about that in a little bit. So they were here for 7 years. My grandmother was put back on the boat back to Yugoslavia, and that's the flag over here. They spent a few years back in Yugoslavia, but unfortunately, Hitler had different plans. World War II happened. And that time, there was many concentration camps, and a lot of families were uprooted for where they were living, and they had to go to Germany in these camps. And my grandmother and the family had to go to this camp. And they were there for years. I remember me and my grandfather visiting, and he could speak German, so he never lost the German language. He could speak many languages, but German was one of them because he was in a concentration camp. Many years gone by, and then we go through the wars of Yugoslavia, where some of you might even be asking, what the heck is Yugoslavia? Because it's been a few years have gone by. And I'll break that up in a second here. So can you imagine? We have a U.S. citizen in a Nazi concentration camp in World War II. If you said that, people would say that doesn't exist. Well, it did, because my grandmother was an American citizen in a German Nazi concentration camp in World War II. Period and end. So we went from the United States, we went to Yugoslavia, we went to a Nazi concentration camp, and then we went to Slovenia. Let me give you the rundown. But first and foremost, here's my beautiful Staramama. They did come and visit a couple of times, and this is one of the pictures here on the right. She came and visit back in the day. And who are her parents? Well, her parents was Mitya Sinkovec and Anica Sinkovec. And Mitya, he came here for work, get some money, and I wish I could tell him, don't go back, because a war is going to happen. It's called World War II, and you're going to be put into a concentration camp, so don't go back there. But you can't do that. That was the decision they made. They were homesick. They missed their family. They missed their friends. They missed everything. And I probably been tired working into a coal mine. So what is Yugoslavia? Well, here's a little breakup. Yugoslavia was this. This is what I know of Yugoslavia back in the day when I visited. I visited Yugoslavia back in the 80s, in the summer times when I was off school. And communism, I'll tell you, folks, I lived it, I saw it, and I got a piece of it. I didn't get the whole thing, but I got a piece. And the piece that I saw, I never want to be in communist country. It is not good when you're told you can have this much coffee for the month. And that's just the tip of the iceberg there. Then it all broken up here. The people had enough of that. They want to drink as much coffee as they want. So here we go. Break it all up. And unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. And I'm sure you heard of these countries today: Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Macedonia. Back to my grandmother and grandfather, Staramama, Starata. Folks, when you take a look at these hands is not playing the piano. Never played the piano. That's hard work on the farm, folks. Hard work. Those hands, they were inflated for a good reason. This is a 7-day job on the farm, and they never took a day off. But when they did able to take a day off, Loiza, Streets Loiza, he'll give you the shirt off his back. That's Loiza, that's my mom's brother, Staramama, Starata. There's my mom as a baby. There they are, the happy family in Yugoslavia. There's Loiza right there. Yep. They came over for a break. I remember they used to talk about when the cows were going to get fed, when the chickens were going to get fed, the pigs were going to get fed. And my dad over here goes, geez, can't they take a break from that? But Loiza had everything under control back then. There's my brother, Johnny. There's Streets, Lubo, my dad, Teta Maida, my mom's cousin. Maida's father was my grandfather's brother. Staramama. There's the American girl right there. My mom, and there's me, droopy. Looks like I've been drinking all day, but I swear I wasn't. This is not a nice picture, folks, but you know what? I thank Staramama over and over that this happened. You see, you just think about what my grandmother went through. Born and raised, hour and a half from Pittsburgh. Goes back to Yugoslavia. Hitler comes out and says you're going to go live in Germany now for a few years in a concentration camp. I don't even want to know. Anyways. When my father escaped the communist country of Yugoslavia, he went to Montreal looking for work. He ended up in Oshawa, Ontario. And my grandmother encouraged my mom to go to have a better life over there. Don't have the life that I had in a communist country. Go have freedom. Go over there. And she did. And thank God she did. Little story here. This is a close town of ours back in Slovenia, Raka. And you can, has your essentials. This is a church we went to. Little funny story. We went to church every single Sunday. Over here was called the Gostilna, a bar. And down here, the fathers, the husbands, they went here. And you know what? If you asked them what they did that day on Sunday, they went to church. But I never saw them in this building. Anyway, little side story there. My mom was baptized here. You know who else was baptized here? Melania. Yeah, that one in Washington, Melania. Melania was baptized here. She lived down the road here, Melania Noss. My uncle had a house beside her. And you know who else was baptized here and went to school with Melania's grandmother? My grandmother. My grandmother, U.S. citizen, went to school, was an acquaintance with Melania grandmother. So Melania's grandmother was friends, acquaintance, went to school with a U.S. citizen back in the 1930s. Yeah, I can't make this stuff up, folks. Back to Anna. Anna Sinkovec to be Anna Sisko. This is Louisa Shishko, my mom, and there's the American girl. Staramama, love you all. Little piece here at the end. Hvala lepa. Love you.